mail. When I say mail, it's basically going to email this link to whoever I'm emailing it to. And you'll note that this link has my membership number in it, 9934. How that's important is that when they download the app and have the app running on their iPad, iPhone, or Android, they have the ability to associate it with you. So it works like internet data exchange. They associate it with you, and then anytime they say contact, it doesn't send information to the listing agent, it sends the contact to you. So again, you have the ability to push this out to your customers. They associate it with you by using your membership number, and whenever they say contact or email, it goes to you. And whenever they bring up the app, your name shows up at the top rather than my name. So it'll have your name there. In the next version, which will be out in the coming weeks, it actually will have your company name there too to comply with licensing laws. So that's one of the pieces that will be in this next version, should be very shortly. It's already showing on the iPhone version, just not on the iPad version. Again, it's a kind of a collaboration tool to a certain extent that you can have them use the app and send any contacts with you. Unlike the MIBOR.com site, on the MIBOR.com site, everything just goes to the listing agent from that perspective. Additionally, up here you'll note I have this My Save Search option. And you can save searches, so you can run a search and save it. But additionally, if you have searches saved in Fusion or in Tempo, you can actually bring up your saved searches and run them on your iPad. So any search you have saved in the system will come up in this list here, and when you touch that search, it'll go out and run that search live. Okay? Again, free to use, included in the app, included in your technology fee this year. It does replace Curio. So we emailed the Curio users a couple of weeks ago. Another one is going out this week, another one next week, but this does replace Curio. And again, Curio is BLC wireless. If you are a user, you may have noticed we didn't invoice you for it this year, and that's probably because this was coming out, so this is the replacement. Let's say that you're a BlackBerry user, what do I do? There also is a WAP, a wireless access protocol site. So if you go to MIBORmobile.com, you can use it on any device. So if you have a Windows mobile device, or if you have a BlackBerry device, that would be the place to go to use the private site, to use MIBOR Mobile. And again, that also is a consumer and a non-consumer and an agent product, so the consumer can log in and use it like they do on MIBOR.com. Agents can log in with their user ID and password and see all statuses. With off-market listings, it's all active and pendings, but sold, expired, withdrawn, 2 years back of data. So it's just simply 2 years back, but it should be should be pretty decent amount of information. Again, lots of items in the search criteria here. The thing that's really missing right now, we're kind of working through, is a school district search. So that's something that we know that isn't there, but don't have an answer yet on when or how. But odds are it probably will end up in that upper right top box. It's a large table that can't be included in the table options that we have today. When using it with an iPhone, it works pretty similar. You'll find it's really designed for an iPhone before it was designed for an iPad, so you'll find that it actually is pretty slick from that perspective. There also is this option in the upper right corner, this location or find listings near me. And that search basically does a circumference around you and finds listings that are close to you. So it's that arrow in the upper right hand corner, and there's a button right on the iPhone and the Android app to see it directly. Any questions? Yes, sir.
How is this different than Trulia and Zillow? And second question, how are you going to market this to consumers?
So the question is how is this different than Trulia and Zillow, and then how do we market it to consumers? The primary way that it's different than Trulia and Zillow is that it includes all of the listings. That's the number one thing. Where Trulia and Zillow, Trulia as a general just includes listings that are listed by realtors, but not everyone sends their listings. Nationwide, the estimate is that they both have around 80% of the listings. So it's 100% of the listings, less those that are internet no. So those aren't anywhere really, but available to you. So that's the primary difference. The product itself is really designed to be a realtor product. We're not going to be necessarily in the market to market this to the consumers. That's your job. If you want to use it for your consumers, you would push it out. And that's really the primary intent from that perspective. We did run an ad in this last Sunday's real estate section, predominantly because it was promoting the open house weekend. But that's not necessarily our focus to promote to the consumer. They're your customers. So that's, is that what you're looking for an answer?
Yeah, and how, is it up-to-date information in there for
The question is it up-to-date information? The information is within 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes it's updated. Unlike Trulia and Zillow, yes.
What does the agent see that the consumer may not see?
Agent remarks, directions, commission, showing phone numbers, all the things that aren't on the agent report, the consumer report, those pertinent fields.
Tom, when you go to the App Store and upload this onto your iPad, it defaults to the agent login, I think, and then you swipe over to customer. So can a consumer accidentally log in on the agent?
So the question is, can the consumer accidentally log in on the agent login? Only if they have your username and password. So you'd have to have a valid username and password. So obviously, yes, if you were to give it out, but that'd be a violation of a user agreement, so you wouldn't do that.
No.
Yes, ma'am. One last question.
Is there a plan to have tax and history?
Okay, so the question is there a plan to have tax and history? This is the first version of it. By the end of the year, it will be linked to Realist. So it will have the complete tax record from Realist, yes. I don't know the answer on the history portion of it. But again, we do show in this by default the previous list price and the original list price. So you do have both of those list price, that pricing information from a history perspective. Okay.
Typically are willing to stick around for a few minutes afterwards, so please feel free to come up and corner Tom for more questions. And I know he's available. I'm sure you can email him as well. Okay, we're going to move on to Fred and Stefan.